The Paul is dead conspiracy theory is one of the most famous and bizarre in music history. It claims that Paul McCartney died in 1966 and was secretly replaced by a lookalike. While it might sound like something straight out of a movie, it has captivated fans for decades. So how did this theory come about, and why does it still have such a hold on people? The story began in 1967. When a Michigan student newspaper published an article suggesting that McCartney had died in a car crash. The article claimed that the Beatles, in an effort to cover up the tragedy, replaced McCartney with a lookalike. But what really fueled the theory were the so-called clues fans found in the band's albums. One of the earliest clues came from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. The album cover shows McCartney barefoot, which some fans took as a symbol of death, as it's common in many cultures to go barefoot at funerals. Then there's Abbey Road, where Paul is shown walking out of step with the other Beatles, barefoot, which some people believe represents a funeral procession, with Paul being the dead man. Even more eerie were the supposed backward messages in songs. Fans claimed that if you played Revolution 9 from the White Album backwards, you could hear the words, "Turn me on, dead man." In I'm So Tired, some even thought they heard Paul's voice saying, "Paul is dead." Despite these wild interpretations, there's no actual evidence to suggest that Paul McCartney ever died. He's continued to live and perform for over 5 decades. The theory, however, has never really disappeared. It lives on as part of rock and roll lore, fueled by fans' love of mystery and the idea of hidden meanings in music. So while it's a fun story to revisit, the truth is clear. Paul McCartney didn't die in 1966, and he's been rocking on ever since. But the Paul is dead theory remains an interesting chapter in music history, showing how myths can take on a life of their own. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Paul is dead conspiracy, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. What do you think? Was Paul really replaced, or is this just another rock and roll mystery?